Well, in week one of the high school football season, Fairfield Mules opened up the season at home at the train yard with a decisive 34-14 victory over the Eldorado Eagles. And the game really wasn't even as close as the score would indicate, as the Eagles didn't score their 14 points till the fourth quarter. So a real decisive win for Coach Justin Townsend and his Mules. He joins us right now. And, Coach, you got to be real happy with the way your team played both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, really pleased with our defensive effort, first off. We held them scoreless really till I think midway through the fourth quarter, and just did a great job defensively. And I thought we tackled real well for week one. Played really good assignment football. I thought our special teams were sound. Had a blocked punt. Had a couple of nice returns. Offensively, for losing our main running back early in the game. And kind of having to plug in some guys. And I thought once we settled in, we were able to do some things offensively, and especially with a new scheme. And didn't have a ton of yards rushing, but we still were very efficient. And I think we threw for 181 yards. I think that's easily the most yards we've thrown for, I think, since maybe 2 years ago, COVID year. So I thought we looked pretty good for week one. If I had a couple things, I'm a little disappointed in the penalties. Some things that weren't, uncharacteristic of us. We had some false starts, a couple of face mask penalties. I think, a couple of those face mask penalties were late when maybe our guys were a little gassed and a little tired, and maybe you just don't quite, tackle the way you need to tackle, and maybe you do a little more reaching, but we're going to work on getting those corrected right off the bat, this week, and get our kids where they need to be. But, all in all, week one, come out with the W and, get off to a good start. Yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
One of the things that you mentioned in our preseason interview is that you were concerned with it being week one. You make those week one mistakes, and you're worried about taking care of the football and, not turning it over. And you did not turn the football over, and you caused 3 turnovers.
Yeah, we always like to cause turnovers. We work that in practice. We do turnover circuits, and we teach gang tackling and the other guy ripping the ball out, and we teach our DBs to high point the ball, and when it's in the air, go get it. And there was instances I can think of that happening in the game Friday night, and our kids, when the lights came on, they went out and made plays, and like I said, I'm just really proud of their effort. And it's always nice when you practice something and then you see it translate out on the game field.
You mentioned 181 yards passing. That's more than you had in rushing, and you got to go back a long time to find a Mules game where you had more passing yards than rushing yards. But what I wanted to get at on that was that with 181 yards passing, you had 6 different receivers catch a pass and 3 different guys with a TD reception.
Yeah, we definitely spread the ball around with what we do offensively. We'll run in 4 or 5 different receivers. We have a tight end out there. We have 2 or 3 different running backs out there. So, there's not really one guy that you can key on. And especially now with our backfield situation, there's going to be more guys in the backfield running the ball. So then there's going to be more guys playing receiver as a result. So, that's something that is going to continue to happen, I think.
Jay Snyder left the game early. I think you said the second series of the game with a knee injury, and we don't know the full extent of that yet, but probably not going to be good. And he only had 6 carries as a result. And so the rest of the game, you had Latrell carry the ball 14 times and Eric Rogers, the quarterback, 12. And so you have to kind of retool things a little bit in the backfield, don't you?
Yeah, ideally we're not, we don't want our quarterback to lead us in carries. And, I think you're going to see Latrell carry the ball a lot, but you're also going to see Luke Sork carry the ball. You'll see him get more touches. Also, Trey Mason, Gabe Todd's another senior, get some touches for us. You'll see us mix and match a little bit more because a lot of those are defensive guys too. Whereas Jay was just an offensive only, except for when in a passing type situation on defense. And then also in the return game, it's going to change some things too for us. Jay was one of our big-time returners. So, but that said, we're going to figure it out. We still, like I said, our defense is intact, our offensive line's intact, and we're going to rally around those guys and figure out what we need to do moving forward. And we're 1-0. We're still in a really good spot. We just we know we got two really good opponents coming up these next couple of weeks that probably going to go a long way in deciding the conference championship.
Week 2, you head down to Sesser-Valier to take on the Red Devils down there. I assume you probably got to scout them on Saturday when they played Vienna?
Yeah, my assistant coach Lyons went down there, defensive coordinator, and I, of course, watched film on them. And very, very athletic. A lot of returning skill guys, a couple of good guys up front. Just a very, very obviously well-coached football team, very disciplined. And, we know they'll be prepared for us. And, I think it's going to be a heck of a football game.
Your defensive effort the other night, you were mentioning how well your defense played. And I go through the stats here looking at the tackles. And, I mean, man, everybody was in on the action with the tackles, led by Trey Mason with 7 solo tackles. Luttrell had 6. Luke Duckworth had 4 solo tackles. Guys were really pursuing the football.
Yeah, and that's what we want. I mean, that's what we teach. We want guys flying to the football and, not just one guy. We want multiple guys. And, that goes a long way in playing good, sound defense.
Any other scores from a Black Diamond from last weekend surprise you at all? Or?
No, not really. I think Carmi is going to be really good. I talked to Coach Gerlach. They played Johnston City. He said he was really, really impressed with their offensive line. He thinks they're maybe better up front than they were last year. Now, obviously, they don't have, the quarterback, the receiver, and Brown.
Yeah,
but
right.
They do have a couple of really nice backs, too, to go. But little surprised maybe by the Flora Christopher score, just because. Not that Flora won, but just maybe by the margin, So I don't know. We'll see. I know that Christopher did have a few athletes out, just by recognizing some of the names. But I know that they're really young as well. So, and I know Flora's skill guys had some experience. So, but I don't know that there was really any surprises now.
Yeah. Well, as we said in the preseason interview with you, your schedule is really front-loaded or top-loaded this year. Those first 5 games out of the gate are all quality opponents, and of course, week 2 at Sesser, it's a big game coming up.
Yeah, and I still feel that way. I mean, based on our scores week 1 and after playing Eldorado, I still feel like Eldorado is a team that could maybe get 4 or 5 wins based on their schedule and seeing them firsthand and the guys they got, and they're still a pretty good football team, and they got some nice pieces. So, I think they get a few things figured out offensively. They're going to beat some teams, no doubt, in our conference. So, but yeah, Sesser, Johnston City, Flora, and Carmi, they're obviously all teams right in our path, and we're gonna know where we're at here pretty quickly in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
So. Coach, again, congratulations on the win, and best of luck down at Sesser. Right?
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.